A blessed day. Welcome to Applied Entrepreneurship. I'm your teacher, Alvin Reynoso Lumaban. Before we start, let's begin with a prayer. Okay, after our prayer, let's discuss our class rules. First, listen when somebody is talking. Second, follow directions quickly and quietly. Third, raise your hand to speak. Fourth, respect others, respect yourself, respect your school. Next, be safe, be honest, and the last, make your teachers happy. I hope that you will follow our class rules. How are you, learners? I hope all of you are okay. Have a blessed day. A beautiful day must always begin with a positive mindset. Let's start our day in a positive mindset. It's review time. Let's review our previous lesson. First, entrepreneurship is the process of inventing blank. What is your answer? Good. Innovating and creating new ideas and turning them into blank. What is your answer? Good. Action. With a purpose of making wealth, blank. What is your answer? Give opportunities. Good. And satisfy the needs and wants of the consumers. Diba? Very good. All of you answers our review correctly. Our topic for this day for our applied entrepreneurship is the environmental factors and sources of opportunities. At the end of the lesson, the learner shall be able to, first, determine the elements of physical environment of the venture. Second, identify the different forces composing the societal environment of the venture. And illustrate the useful tool for environmental scanning. Taglines are permanent representation of your brand. In entertainment, a tagline is a short text which serves to clarify a thought for or is designed with a form of dramatic effect. Many taglines, slogans are reiterated phrases associated with an individual, social group, or product. Let's have an example of tagline. This is one of the example of a catchy business tagline. When you heard "just do it," what company comes in your mind? Good. Nike. The next tagline is "obey your thirst." What product? Goods, right? The next, melts in your mouth, not in your hand. Can anybody answer? Eminem. Nice. This tagline, taste the feeling. Can you get it? Nice. It's Coca-Cola. In recognizing potential market, entrepreneur ideas start with a creation of ideas. Next is the identification of entrepreneurial opportunities. When your idea does not have enough opportunities, you must rethink for another ideas until you reach to the proper or enough opportunities of your idea. When you reach the enough opportunities, your idea must open of entrepreneurial venture or the implementation of your idea. After the entrepreneur ideas, we must know the essentials in entrepreneurship opportunity seeking. First is the mind frame. Entrepreneur mind frame allows the entrepreneur to see things in a very positive and optimistic way in the midst of difficult situation. Being a risk taker, an entrepreneur can find a solution when problem arise. That is the entrepreneur mind frame. Next is the entrepreneur heart flame. Entrepreneur heart flame, entrepreneurs driven passion, they are attracted to discover satisfaction in the act and process of discovery. Passion is the great desire of an entrepreneur to achieve his or her goals. Next is the entrepreneurial gut game. What is entrepreneurial gut game? This refers to the ability of the entrepreneur of being intuitive. This is also known as intuition. The gut game also means the confidence in oneself and the firm beliefs that everything you aspire can be reached. The next in our topic is the physical environment or the natural environment. What is physical environment or natural environment? It is an environmental that is composed of the natural elements. It is partitioned into climate, physical resources, and wildlife. The three natural elements of the physical environment have significant critical commitments and impacts of business undertaking. Prospective entrepreneurs ought to fundamentally assess them before starting their organization. Let's discuss first the climate. Climate is the climatic condition in a specific area. When the business will be set up, it must be assessed before we conduct a business. Second is the physical resources. Physical resources is the ability or lack of raw materials that will determine the cost of the products. The availability of raw materials is to be utilized for the business for the sufficient for long-term operation, while wildlife is incorporates to the general synthesis of the ecological system. Entrepreneur must add to the conservation of the biological framework and set up corporate social responsibility. That is the three physical environment that must be considered in setting up a business: the climate, the physical resources, and the wildlife. The next is the social environment. Social environment is the changes in physical environment that have an impact on the societal environment. First, in terms of resources availability and cost. It is seen that all progression that occur in the various layers of the environment encompassing to the endeavor straightforwardly influence the business operation. The enumerated of the following social forces that significantly impact the business venture. What is these social forces? First is the political environmental forces. The political environment forces underscore the political forces such as political parties, political system, and other related political groups generously impact the political soundness of a nation. Political forces include trade regulation, taxation, government stability, unemployment, workers' benefits, and election practices. Next to the political environment is the economic environment. How about the economic environment? It is driven by supply and demand forces. Basically, it brought about by the changes in the Philippine economy, wherein it is a similar factor that drives remote foreign exchange rate to fluctuate with other market forces. After the economic environment is the socio-cultural environment. Socio-cultural environment includes the demographic and cultural dimension such as values, tradition, family structure, social status, religions, customs, educations, and dynamics of the population at large. After the socio-cultural environment, there is the technological environment. The technological environment refers to the trends and development in the information, scientific discovery, and technological advancement that includes the use of the internet, social media, and e-commerce. After that is the ecological environment. The ecological environment includes resources and the ecosystem that defines the habitat of a man, animals, plants, and minerals. The last is the legal environment. The legal environment emphasizes that legitimate powers are components associated with the enactment and understanding of laws and ordinances influencing the business. In short, social environment can commonly called PESTEL, because P for political, E for economic, S for socio-cultural, T for technological, E for ecological, L for legal environment. What is the nature of the environmental scanning? Environmental scanning main task is to determine the trends and development of various forces existing in the business condition. It is a process of gathering data, basic assessment of event, exercises and activities, utilization of pertinent information related to the different environmental forces. Different layers of the external environment or macro-external environment, physical, societal, and industry, and all forces comprising each environment layers are interconnected and interrelated. Moreover, scanning the societal environment may use an analytical approach to determine the impact on business exercises. It is explained that societal environment entrepreneur can use the following analytical approach such as PESTEL analysis. This is a tabular framework commonly utilized in the environmental scanning tools. PESTEL represent the political, E for economic, S for socio-cultural, T for technological, E for ecological, and L for legal forces. There are no particular guidelines on the best way to introduce this model, yet it is very well may be changed depending on the need and significance of the specific factor for the business. This factor shows political forces, sample stability of the Philippine government. Economic resources, sample is high inflation rate. The sample to the socio-cultural forces is the support for LGBTQ+. And the sample for the technological forces is the use of Gcash application for payment transaction. And for the ecological forces is the use of reusable shopping bags instead of plastic. And the last is the tax exemptions for PWD on the legal forces. These are the sample of the PESTEL analysis. To illustrate the useful tool for environmental scanning, let's do this activity. Direction. Using the given environmental matrix or the PESTEL analysis, based on your observation, choose one existing business in your market. Then cite different forces you have witnessed. First, you must identify the business name. Second is the political forces. What is the environmental resources that you observe? Third is your observation to the socio-cultural forces. Next is your observation to the technological forces of the business. Next is the ecological forces, and the last is the legal forces of the business. You can answer this question, this activity, to illustrate the useful tool for environmental scanning. Thank you. I hope you learned something in our topic this day. Thank you and God bless you always.